It's incredible. It's unbelievable. Look at the celebrations there. What a turnaround deal this afternoon.
The Rangers Radio. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Deeney, followed that up. Followed that up, and it goes. It goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01014561972.
Rangers scoring! Back to Rodri! 12 minutes for the from Kenny Miller. Rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at RangersRadio.online.
He's gone into the middle. McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, is he gonna let flies in? He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio on a day when absolutely nothing's happened. So I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight, Bridgeman and Ibrox Loyals. What do you think?
It's been a quiet day, as I say, mate. But how are you all doing anyway, lads? All right?
Aye, no bad.
Can I just say a big good evening to you two guys on the panel here, and to all the guys in the lobby. I'd say another big good evening, but to all the Rangers fans all over the world listening in to hear what the latest is on the Rangers situation. Apologies, but we don't have any latest on it. All we know is what we've been told, and so obviously Loyal will tell us a wee bit more after. But good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Evening, guys. Well, I think we'll start off with a short statement for the club. Have you got that handy, Ibrox Loyal?
I've got it here, mate, yeah. I'll just read it as follows. Rangers can confirm 2 players, Lee Wallace and Kenny Miller, have this morning been suspended pending investigations into a team-related incident. The club will make no further comment until this investigation has been completed. So you can take for that what you will, mate. It usually takes a number of weeks for an internal investigation to get kicked off, but obviously it was involved in some sort of incident after the match on Sunday. Everybody was obviously maybe a wee bit heated, shall we say, and things have been said maybe in haste, but that's what the club will announce at this time.
Personally, I think it's a wee bit more than just a couple of words exchanged, mate. I think for them to overstep the mark, as it's been stated in the statement, I think it's a wee bit worse than that. What do you think, Bridge?
Yeah, I think it's got to be... an amazing thing is that one is our club captain, one has been a team captain, and also Mr. Miller has actually been suspended before by Rangers earlier on this season by Pedro Caixinha. Caixinha, should I say. It's quite amazing. I think something has been said, probably on a personal level, aimed at our manager, Mr. Murty. Whether we like it or not, he's the manager, and he should be shown the same respect as any other Rangers manager in the past. The respect doesn't need to be, bow down to him or anything like that, but you don't do or say anything really insults on a personal level about his abilities or whatever. He is the Rangers manager, and that's the respect he should get from the most experienced players in the club, for sure. I mean, Wallace is the club captain. I can't imagine what he could have said or what's been said that would cause Wallace to be suspended, other than it was seriously personal. Seriously personal. What do you think, Fox?
I think it's about time I handed over to the one and only Ox there. You there, Ox?
Oh, he's in.
Evening, gentlemen. Yeah.
Evening, Ox.
How we doing? Listen, I think it's just the circus behind the scenes with the manager. Obviously, we don't know the details yet, Bridge. But what I find strange is that usually in any walk of life, when you have an investigation, all parties are suspended till you find an outcome. So the fact that the 2 people are just suspended and know the person that's made the allegation, because if you're going to investigate something, you need to take everybody out and then have an investigation. But it's another blow to the fans. The circus that has become our team is very, very heavy in the heart for us to take, Fox.
What can you say? Well, we were commenting on it last night, pal, and I was saying there was definitely disharmony in the squad. The way they took to the field on Sunday was obvious there was something wrong, and now we're beginning to find out what exactly it is, Ox. You were quick there to say why the manager should be suspended, but what if the manager wasn't involved in the brawl? He was the target of the brawl, mate.
Well, usually in most works, Fox, if somebody comes up and puts one in your chin and the both parties will be suspended pending investigation, that's how you would do it, mate, so that the investigation's sure it can't be influenced for somebody still being in a workplace, because at the end of the day, it's a workplace. That's how they've been suspended. It's no, even though for us it's different, it's a passion and it's a part of our life. For them, it's gone to their work, so they've been suspended for a workplace. So the person, that's just normal for me, Bridge, and you have to deal with it. But it's sitting heavy with the heart. What about you, Ibrox? Because it's just turning into a circus. The board have got it wrong. They got it wrong with Kachina. They've got it wrong with Murty. They've got a lot of things right, but on this they've got it wrong, and they need to get it sorted, or they're going to start losing the support. Ibrox.
Without a doubt, mate. I've been looking through social media throughout the day as well, and not only social media, so you take it with a pinch of salt. You've said that many times yourself, but especially with Twitter, when they do Twitter polls, and I think I've seen half a dozen different polls to different, whether we're YouTubers or whatever else, they put the poll up and it says, as you says, the three of them should be suspended. Suspending this two just doesn't work. Whoever was involved in the incident, they all must be suspended until a full investigation can be took part in. And every one of these 6 polls was 90% that the three of them should have been suspended. And nobody can understand the fact why Kenny Miller and Lee Wallace have been suspended, but Mr. Murty still stays in place. Unfortunately, I do see it myself, mate, he should have been suspended as well and allowed a full investigation to take place.
Oxter, can I say something on that?
Of course, mate.
Just to say that I don't know about the rest of the guys in the lobby. Maybe they know a lot more than I probably do, of course, on this. I'm bemused as to why you're saying Murty should have been suspended. Are we saying that there's any? But is there saying there's any indication at all that Murty was involved in a brawl with 2 players or something? Is that what we're saying?
Well, what my understanding is, Bridge, and I'm literally no long in the door, but I was in earlier on the day, and what I read was that they've went towards the manager and something's been said. We don't know the details of that, and that would only come out. But if somebody's then raised a complaint that they've been abuses towards them, you have to move the whole lot of them to investigate it properly. No guilt. It's called preventive suspension. It happens a lot in workplaces up and down the country.
Well, I know that HR are involved in it, Oxter. I know that they were involved.
And I can't understand. I can't. How can you leave somebody there who's going to speak to everybody else and potentially influence any investigation? It's a wrong thing to do, and it's just the circus we've turned into. And it used to be that things were said, heat of the moment stuff. It's a passionate game. People are thinking, geez, football. Imagine every time you get in an argument in the football park, but you went to HR. Jesus Christ, what we coming to?
I think that's why I'm saying I don't know obviously we don't know what's actually happened, and I wish someone would actually tell us or even give us a hint. The BBC should be able to tell us. They've got sources all over the bloody place. But I can't believe that something's happened that has left the 2 most senior players in our club suspended. And I don't know whether they've said just a verbal attack on the manager. And I would imagine that's probably what it's been. I would imagine the 2 of them called him a few names, and he's probably said, no, you're stepping over the line. We're not having that. I'm going to report you. And I think that's what it's been. I don't think it's been in physical. If it went in physical, then there's the 3 of them. You're right. The 3 of them would be
verbal and physical assault are the same, and ultimately can cause people their job. But
yeah, absolutely.
So you would suspend everybody. The person that made the allegation has got to be suspended as well, so that you can investigate properly. But that's
I understand that. I would suggest that the both of them have said look, you're an umpty.
Bridgeman, I need to move on here because we've got a caller and I want to see who.
Go for it.
Evening, caller.
Evening, gents.
How we doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well. It's Dave Kingswine.
Yeah, Dave King. Long time no here.
Long time no here, pal.
The show's always better for you being on. How's things? How's things? Can you do me a favour, mate? Can you send me some of the bottles of wine so I can sort of dull this pain I've got in the heart and the head?
Absolutely. Apologies, I never listened to last night's show. I probably hid from social media and any other media outlet that spoke about the game at the weekend. So it's kind of still fresh in my mind, and I just wanted to get a couple of points off my chest. Probably the best forum to do that, I guess. You carry on, brother. It's called a self-help group. Aye, I probably will need to be. It'll probably need to be the Samaritans after tonight. Listen, guys, I've probably got a couple of points, and it's not that I have the answers or the solutions to it. It's probably points more for the guys, collective groups, people in the lobby, and everybody else that's listening in to either call in and discuss. So if I go through them, and then either we can talk about it or whatever it may be. But You carry on. We'll go and mute, mate, and we'll let you make your point. Yep. Thank you. So firstly, is this going to take us up to 10 o'clock? This is you at 11, mate. This is you at 11. Right, okay. You'll need to skip the songs tonight. So just probably starting off prior to the game. So you've got King coming out pretty much denouncing Murray, if you like. Not saying there's another manager in place, but pretty much not the best thing to do prior to an Old Firm game build-up. You then get the Hardy situation. So one getting subbed in the game at the certain point he did. Some people will probably agree that he should have been brought off at that point, but then also it was only kind of 7 minutes to half time, so why not just save face and take him off at half time and make the change? You then get the Candeas and Alves sub. So when Candeas came off, he went pretty much straight up the tunnel, didn't even go to the bench. He was raging, furious, which I liked in terms of passion, you know. And then when Alves came on as well, you seen the body language and the gestures after say, I don't even know why I'm coming on. Looking at it from a board level, you've got no kit announcement as of yet, but you've got season tickets coming out just now. You've got the Wallace and Miller suspension. And I heard you guys earlier on before in terms of what happens. So from my understanding, from a professional working environment, if someone makes an accusation or an allegation, you would take that face merit, not from a victim perspective, but that someone's made a claim. And to protect the company, whether it be at risk of any further issues, they would have to remove them from the business. Fully paid, my understanding would be as well. Correct. Until that allegation of deemed guilty or not. No guilt. Everybody just do it. Yep, correct. Absolutely. So it's fully paid. Remove them from the situation until we can fully investigate it and then deemed appropriate, whether it's a sanction or not, and whether that's dismissal or whatever it may be, depending on the circumstances. I think you then look at, there's no appointment of a manager prior to season ticket announcement, so sign up to everything, but you don't know what you're signing up for. You don't even know what players are there. To further couple with that, you've got then the Pena situation. So technically he's still one of our players due to come back, rolling about with a six-pack of beers and kicking about in another club's football T-shirt. You've got a Halloran, who I genuinely forgot about until he started to come back into the training loop a couple of weeks ago. You've got Dalcio, you've got Herrera, and you've got Dodo. You've got all our fan groups making statements, whether or not we agree or disagree with them. They've all come out. So Club 1872 particularly asking for more money. Vanguard Bears and Union Bears actually saying that they're going to protest, which is probably the right thing to do. You've then got Cummins, who potentially this boy's signed up to come and play for us, and he's got Miller going ahead of him, and he's got every other player going ahead of him, apart from him actually getting a start. And then just pretty much to top off, I think final thoughts is top four. So look at the fixture list that we've got in the next couple of weeks. We would potentially see ourselves missing out on a top four, which would be disastrous. And I guess, again, like I said earlier on prior to all this, it's not that I have the answers to it, but it's probably crucial talking points. And it's also for other people to come in and give their comments and views and stuff like that. But it's just things that are on my mind just now that I just think we are, one, a PR disaster, two, went backwards, and the banter era has just came back out again. Honestly, it's just, I don't even know where to start, guys, but a couple of good talking points, and I'd like to hear everybody else's opinions on all of the above. All right. Pardon? Aye. So, right, okay, we'll work through your... We'll work through your points, yeah. We'll open up and we'll open the debate up as we take them. And if we don't get through all the points, feel free to either call in at any other time or raise it as we go through them.
let's take the board and the collective with the leadership as the board off the part. Is that fair, Dave?
Yep.
Yeah, because obviously you're talking about the statement, the lack of clarity, who's going to be running our football team next year when you're selling. You wouldn't buy a picture for the pictures if you didn't know what was playing, would you? You know, so you're talking about...
It's about kit sponsors as well, you know, so you don't even know what the new kit's going to be like. You don't know what players are going to stay, what players are going to go. There's no manager that's going to be there. Murray, we don't even know if he's going to be there either. Probably by the massive majority of fans, he shouldn't be there anyway. But if that's the case, then what happens to the players that are coming to there, that are in contract, out of contract? You know, there's just no structure in place. Probably even go to an extent a director of football. What does he play? What part will he play in any new manager that comes in, and to what level?
Basically, we've turned ourselves into, with things we're selling along, we were hoping to possibly get, and I'll take this round the panel and open up to any other callers that want to join us. And what's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or you can join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online, where you'll be brought into the call. I think I'll take the first one first. And leadership, boardroom, when we're talking about the statement for Dave King, that you could have read a million and one ways, but it looked as if he was saying that we'll have a new manager in place. We don't know who it is, or was he tickling my belly? Bridgman.
I don't see the big problem board-wise. I think the board are doing what the board need to do in that sense. I think they've come away and said that actually Dave King was quite vague when he mentioned something about the manager. Maybe it'd have been better to keep his mouth shut regarding the manager, but he may have been asked a question, and that's what he said. So he never said that the manager was getting sacked. He never said anything about it. He just never said he was going to get. He was the one who was going to get the job. But that's a given. The manager himself knew, Mr. Murty knew that he was on a contract at the end of the season, and that's it. And then it would be a case of the Rangers are going to appoint a new manager. It could be him, and it might not be him. But they don't need to. The chairman doesn't need to say it's going to be him. The press are just welling it up. It's Rangers. It's a story, and it's a negative story, which is all the big bonuses, all the 5-star bonuses are all on the line now. Let's go to town for a couple of weeks of stories about negative stories about Rangers. Just fabulous, great stuff. I don't think the board are doing that much wrong, other than when you say lack of leadership, do you mean leadership that's present, or are you meaning just leadership in general? These are the kind of things you need to... Sorry, Bob.
We've ended up rudderless, and I'll take that back to Dave. If Dave doesn't mind, I'll read you part of Dave King's statement for you last week, if that's all right, Dave.
Of course, mate.
Yeah. Mr. King has again offered many thanks to every supporter for the loyalty shown for over the last years as we continue to rebuild our club. To comment, our overall progress has not been smooth. I think we'd all agree with that. But in truth, it would be naive to assume that it would have been otherwise. Not a problem with that. Over the last year, we've made significant strides off the pitch, but on the pitch, process has not been satisfactory due to unplanned changes to the football manager structure and the negative impact this has had on playing staff. In other words, other managers send players and we're going to struggle to get rid of them. Graham Murray was again thrust into an extremely difficult situation. We agree with that. And continues to provide stability and progress that we need at this time. You could maybe argue with some of that now.
Well, that's a bit backfired a wee bit, hasn't it, that one?
Graham can be proud of what he's achieved so far, and we can also expect further progress now that Mark Allen has settled in as director of football. It's significant the club has experienced the highest level of call-ups for senior international duty for many years. That is directly attributable to the work that Mark did. The recent transfer window provides mood for optimism to build in the upcoming summer window. However, on the managerial front, I emphasise that the board fully recognise the need for sustained stability in this area of the club. Whoever is appointed must be able to meet the unique challenges of managing Rangers, ensuring immediate success. I think that's it. That's the last paragraph there, Dave's the one that you're alluding to before the All Firm game coming out, yeah?
That's the one, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see that as negative. What the man said, it's a fact, and we've got to realise it's a fact as well. I don't think there's anybody on this panel here now, based on the game the last couple of games that we've played, I don't think that Mr. Murty was going to get the job. He couldn't have. It could have if it had won every game from the new year on. Even the thought that if he could beat Celtic at all, they might get a chance at it. But seriously, if you just think back a few months, or even a month ago, when we were looking good, and then we came up against Celtic, and I'm afraid they just swept that carpet away from under us. They just pulled it all away, and Sunday just put icing on the cake for that job. No way is Mr. Murty going to get that job. So we can look back at what the chairman says. The chairman was absolutely right. That's going to happen. We're going to have a new manager. Allegedly, we're going to have a new manager at the end of the season. And it may be Murty or it may not be. But I would doubt very much if it's going to be him. So we need to march on.
Then you're back to maybe's eyes, maybe's not, Dave. What
do you mean by that?
I hope that he's not manager. I think he's done a good job up to. I think I've seen a poll earlier on Twitter as well based around if Cassino was still in position, what do you think the points difference would be in terms of two managers? And I don't think it would be that much different, if I'm honest with you. I don't think Murty's the right man for the job. I think at some points he did have man management skills in terms of bringing the young guns through, but I just don't think that he's the right man for the job. I think he's way out his depth, and I think it's clear to see. I think some of his interviews after the game, pretty much I'm going to use the word shocking, because I do think it was shocking to respond to it like that, and then it's no wonder.
If we've been really honest with you, Dave, we usually play managers' interviews, but we'd listen to them after the game, and we didn't want to play them last night.
I wouldn't either. I think it's shocking. Genuinely, I do. And I think when he sent Halliday off, regardless, right, Halliday was no great at all, right, which granted I get and I accept, but to do
Excuse
that...
me, Dave, can the other caller go on mute, please? Thank you.
He shot himself in the foot at that point. I think he lost the dressing room. For me, that's where it highlighted he'd lost the dressing room, and then when there was the Candace sending off, not sending off, but getting subbed, and then Alves coming on as well, Halliday incident as well. It was just, you could see it was quite clear that none of the players knew what was going on. They knew for the formation when they went on there. Now, regardless of what formation they put on, every player on that team should have played, regardless of my manager told me to play left back and I was up front. Regardless, if you're wearing that jersey, you're on the park, you'll play your socks off regardless, and you should have commanded and, deserved more or expected more for that team. But I never seen not one player that actually played for the jersey the other day.
We've not done that. Wait a minute, but
come in on that.
Go to Ibrox. Yeah, Ibrox is here as well. Ibrox, I think Dave's alluding to, is there a cancer in the dressing room that's imploded?
Well, as I says, mate, and I'll use some of the words that obviously was used in the Dave King statement, because that's what I was about to say before the statement I made there. There is absolutely no structure at this moment in time. There is no stability at this moment in time. That match on Sunday proved that in a massive, massive way. I think so many things are needed at our club throughout the summer, which why I was going to say as well. We need a massive clear out. And that squad, and I mean that with the substitutes as well, I would only maybe keep about half dozen players. The rest could probably be shipped out the door. And I know it's hard saying that because if they're on contract, it's going to be hard to move them on. But if we can get a decent agent in to help us getting the clubs come to some sort of agreement with them. The clock has started, lads here. Fox says it last night. We had the chance to have 6 matches left in this season. Now we've only got 5 left. It's going to be a massive, massive summer, because not only do we need a manager who is structurally sound, who can stabilise your dressing room and the players that are going to be left, but there's the stuff that are going to be coming for the board as well. Obviously, they're going to have to appoint a new manager. They're going to have to get a new kit deal and all that organised as well. So this, I know I've said this for many, many seasons now, this could be the most pivotal season for us in 6 years, well, maybe 7 years, when you take into account now. But it's going to be a very difficult summer, and we must have somebody in who can hit the ground running, as I say, to structure your club a lot better than it is at this moment in time, and to stabilise, if there is anything wrong in that dressing room, it needs to be gutted, and they need to make sure that they've got ready every single player that is causing any trouble in that dressing room. So when a new manager comes in, 3 or 4 months down the line, that he's not having to come up against this as well, because it is really demoralising, not just for us fans, but for the club in general.
All right, Bridge, you want to come in? On you go, mate.
Just to say, following on from some of the stuff that Dave King says and the Loyal there. Look, in my opinion, this is my honest to God opinion. I think Mr. Murty has asked our players to go out there in the first half. Don't engage them. I think that's what he's told them. They set it up with a certain style, whatever formation it was. Nobody knows. Don't engage them. Let them have the ball and let them pass it around themselves. They won't do us any damage. I think that was his thoughts. If the ball comes up, obviously
if that was the case, Bridge, we should have bagged him at half time because his tactics were so wrong. It was unbelievable.
Of course, that's what I'm trying to say. I think the tactics were so shockingly wrong. I think that's why the players have reacted in the way they have, and they've probably called him a few names in the dressing room, saying your tactics are wrong. And maybe not as nice as saying that. I just feel that we sat back and set off them. We played them a couple of weeks ago at Ibrox, and we were absolutely superb at chasing the game. We fell away in later on in the game, but we really did set about them, went ahead twice, and that was not the same team, nor the same tactics that we played. Seriously, it just wasn't. And I really do believe it. I've watched that game a number of times now, and there is no way on earth that he has said to the boys, go and take them. They strolled it. Celtic just strolled and strolled and strolled. And I think Rangers must have said to them, must have been told, just you sit back, let them get the ball. They'll no do nothing against us. Just defend.
Listen, we're not going to go reroute the lads, and we've been joined by Big Ulster, but we're not going to the points of the match last night. We're going to take the points that Dave King's wine cellar has raised. Yeah, he's asking the question. Tell me if I got it wrong, Dave. Is there a cancer in the dressing room?
I don't think that was the question per se, but it's probably one of the questions you probably asked.
Maybe a bit stronger using that word cancer, but is the dressing room gone? Did it happen before Sunday?
I don't think it was as bad as what you seen on Sunday. I think Sunday kind of created that as well. I think if there was anything there, it was probably kept quiet or low key, but I think Sunday was probably the biting point for some of the players. And I think back to the guys' earlier points there, it's like you could see it. What the team set up wasn't right. The players didn't know what they were doing. They were just all over the place. They never touched the ball for the first half an hour. They never went into a tackle. They set the team up, from my point of view, right, to defend and flood the midfield. And if you ask anybody, like, what's Rangers' strongest points, it's the attacking sense, the midfield that's going forward. What do you not want to do? Put pressure on our back defence because we're woeful. Absolutely woeful, and that's what we set ourselves up to do. And then we question, why do we go in 1-0 down? Do you know what I mean? It's mental.
What was
Can I ask a question on that point? Can I ask a question on that point? See, you mentioned that the Halliday substitution. The guys where I was standing were all shocked, absolutely shocked, and I dare say most Rangers fans were shocked. That was really, really bad to do that. Number two, it came out. Rangers team came out. Must have been more than a minute before they did. So the Rangers players are all standing about waiting in Celtic. There's no way in this earth that should happen. Never. That is no arrangements made at all. You don't send a Rangers team out on the park to sit and wait on their opponents. Never. Never, ever, 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 ever. Sorry. I've never seen it before, and I hope to God I never see it again, particularly against them.
Can I give you my thoughts before we come to Big Ulster, Dave? Yeah?
Of course,
we broke Graham Murty in, and I think it might be getting to the stage now where Graham Murty might have to even leave the club, which I didn't see coming a couple of weeks ago. Because he'd done a job and he was asked to do a job. Don't be his design. I think it was a boardroom mistake, and they maybe thought, right, we have to get this through at the end of the season and make sure we get who we want. And he's come in, and at times he's made a decent fist at it. When we can't come back from Florida, we beat Aberdeen and then made a bad result against Hibs. We should have beat Hibs that day, but made a bad result. Then we went in a semi-good run against no bad sides, and then we hit the skids against that mob. Then we lost to Kilmarnock. Then we drew with Motherwell. We were fortunate to beat Dundee. 4-0 flattered us. And then I don't know why we thought we were going to be convincing on Saturday. It had gone for 4 weeks ago when we lost to them. and he was a guy who was at his depth and who's been thrown to the lions, and I'm one of the lions. But he should have never been in that position. Dave?
No, I totally agree. I agree with everything that you said there. I don't think he should have been in that position. I don't think he should be in the position just now, but it's one of those ones. I mean, do they have MD lined up? I'm not really sure. Do they have a list? I think when we all thought they had a list partially way through the season, you thought before Derek was brought in, we found out it was Derek was the only person. I'm not sure whether that's right or wrong, but I'm just. It's like what Ibrox is saying. There is no structure from top to bottom. Those guys have no leadership or direction. They've essentially pulled an under-21s coach to govern us through, and he's guided us through to a certain extent, right? Granted, but that team should have done that anyway, naturally by default, regardless of who the manager is there in that point. I think there's that quality there, but the challenge is now that they've lost them. All the players just don't care. It's just, I don't know. I can't explain it, and I fear for the rest of the season, for the latter stage of the season, because it's tough games away and from home, and probably the only saving grace I'd say is that we're away from home, because just now, and it's probably a point to make as well, is it because there was a 50,000 plus crowd there as well? Was that why we collapsed? I'm not sure, but some of these guys just can't play in front of a big crowd.
It's like you look, they were home for them, and then when we go to Hampden, Anyway, we've been joined by Ulster. Evening, Ulster.
Evening, how are you?
All right, I don't know if you've heard some of the points that Dave's made.
No, I'm on a wee bit later. I was putting the wee ones to bed, but I heard a few things there. I was actually saying to the missus the other day, he watches, all the soaps. He says you should start following the Rangers because it's more of a fiasco than anything you'll get in Coronation Street. Every day it's another disaster. Back to the way it used to be on the show, wasn't it? I think someone's coming in there, sorry. Are they?
Hello?
On you go, Dave. Oh, we've been joined by a caller. Evening, caller.
Hi there. This is Stuart here down in West Sussex. I was on Twitter earlier on. I was asking if you would possibly put a plug out for the Rangers Legends game we're down in London in the summer.
Aye, mate. Certainly, mate. Just on you go. Well, we're on the middle of a debate, but I'll tell you what, we'll stop it to let you put that plug out. On you go, Stuart. You do that.
All right, well, maybe
give us all the details. Give us all the details. Right. Tell us where it is. Tell us where it is.
It's Sutton United, which is southwest London.
9th of June, is it?
9th of June, aye.
Yep.
Rangers Legends against the Chelsea Legends. We've done it last year. There was about 3,000 at it. Probably about 2,000 Rangers fans coming for. I mean, obviously, get loads for London and all the home counties, but there was a load came down from Scotland, people over from Northern Ireland. So we thought we'd do it again this year. And last year, Ray Wilkins was really helpful. Gave us hours and hours of his time leading up to it, promoting the game, and then on the day as well. And then, we know what happened in the last few weeks, so we're still waiting to hear about the funeral and then speak to his family about how we can make sure we appropriately.
Yep.
So that'll be sorted in the next couple of weeks or so. But
so what's the details of the day? What's the details of the day?
Right, it's Saturday the 9th of June, 3 p.m. at Sutton United. The tickets are on sale at the moment. It's £16 for seats, $13 for standing. There's not many seats left, and kids are half price, so it's a reasonably cheap day out. Shall I give you some of the players that are coming down?
Yeah, on you go, mate.
Andy the goalie's coming down, Gorham. We've got Scott Nisbet coming over for Lanzarote. Big Colin Hendry, Marvin Andrews. Nacho's booked, but I think at best he'll be in the dugout.
He'll be coaching,
Charlie Miller, Marco Negri's coming out for Italy, Gordon Jury, ex-Chelsea as well. Derek Ferguson, Alec Ray, John McDonald, which is more for people my age, I would imagine, but he's come down the last couple of years and he's been different class for the fans in that. And Lee McCulloch and Mark Walters. So that's the squad at the moment. And Chelsea, there's some sort of familiar names there. Nigel Spankman's agreed. We've got a sold-out dinner on the Friday night, so he's going to be our guest there and hopefully play for Chelsea the following day. And people like Scott Minto, Frank Sinclair, Dave Bessant in goal. So it should be a good day. And so if anybody fancies coming down, Surrey True Blues, so like the local Rangers supporters club, are holding a big bash after it as well for about 800 Rangers fans, and we take all the players there after it. And last year it was the hottest day of the year, so hopefully the sun will be shining again.
Well, with all the things that's happened to our club in the last 48 hours, it is good to see that we're still a special club with special people trying to do special things to help other people, mate. Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I came up 2 weeks ago for the 9 in a row dinner. My mate Stan Gordon, who runs the Stonefield Tavern, he done them, the one in Glasgow and the one in Belfast and Londonderry. Well, Ray Wilkins was supposed to have been the playing with us that day, and obviously was in the hospital at that point. But when you've got people coming from all over the world, players, ex-players, and then I was lucky enough to be out in Nassau last year in Vegas. I'm just, without getting too down, but you just get worried that we just turn into a team that's got memories, because at the moment they're just shocking, as I'm sure you've been talking about in your debate. But but I mean, the players love it. I've had them down here a few times for different events. We did a big dinner for Fernando in London a couple of years back as well. So the players love the weekend away. A few beers with the fans, very informal, and a good laugh. And we raise loads of money for charity, for children's cancer charities, and for the Rangers ex-players benevolent fund as well. So if anyone who fancies it, I'm on Twitter at Rangers_Bognor, BOGNOR, and there's also a Chelsea versus Rangers Legends Facebook page. So,
all right, I'm sure if you put something in our lobby, we will keep pushing it, mate, up to the date.
That'd be great. Appreciate it.
If you sign up to our lobby, because we're here to push
in the lobby up.
Smashing, mate, and we'll push that every night for now till the game happens, mate.
Good stuff. And nearer the time, gives a. I will do nearer the time. I'll drop you an email or whatever, and I'll give you a free page in the match programme, so you can promote to loads of other people out of the UK. And there's people coming for Rangers fans coming up from Holland for it, and obviously for Northern Ireland. So I'm happy to give you a free page in the programme to promote what you guys are doing. All right.
All right. How did you stumble across this out of curiosity? Because we're always intrigued,
Just through Twitter, really. You sort of keep an eye on it, and I think I've been following you for a wee while, but I was sort of brave enough to pick up the phone tonight,
All right. Thanks very much, mate, and thanks very much.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Right, good luck, and as I say, I'll be in touch about getting a wee advert in the programme, all right?
All right. Thank you a lot. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, boys. All the best. Bye.
Thanks, mate.
There you go. There's always
that was good, wasn't it?
When there's
darkness,
that was good. There's always light when there's darkness. People
Absolutely.
are still trying to do the right thing. We've also been joined by Rudy. Evening, Rudy.
Evening, gents. How are we doing?
All right, mate. I don't know where you've heard this, picked up the show from.
Just for the start of that fella's phone call there, really.
All right, okay. We've got Dave King's wine cellar has come into the call, and he's gave us. Dave, do you want to recap on some of the points, and so the lads can pick up on them?
If you're at it, there's about 47 different points there.
I've only took down 23, mate.
23. It's not on my clock yet. Calm down. Right, just briefly, we looked at the announcement or the kind of Dave King statement prior to the match regarding Murty or the manager position. Andy Hardy's kind of game time, 37 minutes, and then substituted Candias and Alves subs in terms of their body language and walking up the tunnel. In terms of renewing season tickets, no kit announcements prior to, so sign up, you've not got a manager, we don't know what your kit announcements are, no appointment of a manager at all. Then looking at the players that we've still got, what do we do with them? So looking at are they in contracts, like Sapena, O'Halloran, Dalcio, Herrera, Dodu, what do we do with those guys? Cummins, who's signed but pretty much never plays. And then I think just the last concern was just about the top four. So given the current status that we're in, the turmoil behind the scenes, and then the games that we've got the rest of the season, do we even think we'll make Europe this season? So those were just kind of the key points, just to summarise.
Rudy, we talked about the holiday situation. I think it was pretty much consensus that it wasn't the right thing to do because it just belittled the guy. I thought Halliday was appalling on Sunday, but you could have took off another 9 players and it wouldn't have made any difference, And to leave the boy exposed for that, I thought was wrong. If he wanted to do it, should have just waited to half time. Rudy?
You're talking about the space of 4 minutes. You know, to have made that decision for me showed a shocking lack of experience for me. I don't think there's a manager worth his salt would have done that to a player. And that's not to say that Andy Halliday sort of deserves defending, because he was having an absolute shocker. But he certainly wasn't the only one. As you see, he could have took another 9 or 10 of them off. No, he could have waited to half time. It just didn't seem to make any sense to me to belittle a player like that. Andy's not the greatest player in the world, but he didn't. I don't think he deserved that. And and I think Graham Murty's excuse, I think might have been in his post-match press conference or whatever. I think I heard him say that he was trying to react to what was happening in the game. Well, 4 minutes wasn't going to make any difference. We were so shocking. Taking Andy Halliday after 4 minutes to go to half time wouldn't have made the slightest bit of difference. No matter who they brought on, for Andy Halliday, wouldn't have made any difference. So for me, it just showed a total lack of inexperience, a total lack of experience for me, and he just showed it right there with that one decision that he made, Certainly Andy Halliday.
I think the guy showed his lack of experience there, Dave. I don't know what your thoughts were. It wouldn't have been. It's a sort of unwritten rule with Ryan on, who played at a professional level last night. And unless there's anything dramatic happening, it's not something that usually happens. Rightly or wrongly at football clubs, it doesn't happen that often. And to take him off what the score was, you just said that we've lost 2-0 at first off, and it's because of you, which it wasn't. He was part of it, but it wasn't just him. Dave?
No, I absolutely agree. And I think the only time I can remember something like that happening was when Rickson, do you remember when Rickson get brought off when Bobby Pedder was covering him? And he brought him off in about 27 minutes. But do you know what? You could see it clear, and it was just that was the weak link in the side at that point in time. I think you've hit it nail on the head there, that every single one of them could have been brought off prior to half-time, do you know what I mean? And it still wouldn't have made a difference. It wouldn't have made it any worse, put it that way, do you know what I mean? Not one man played for it. I think at that point, to me, that was just Murty saying, this is my excuse to say he's not been playing well enough. But in the same defence, he actually chose to bring him on. Lack of match game prior to that, he brought him on for a couple of minutes prior to in the previous game and then put him in straight into an Old Firm game, and I think the tactics was to bring him in to kind of man-mark people and maybe go in with a couple of cheap digs and stuff, but every single one of the players didn't show up for the start at all, and I just think it was totally demoralising to bring him off prior to. They could have easily took him in at half-time and said, you know what, I'll put you on, it's no work to it, I'm going to switch it up, and that would have been fine, but today that was just, I think, shocking.
No pull at all, no squad at all. Our squad's just so weak, it's not real, just so weak. Terrible.
I think I was in a few watering holes on Saturday or Sunday, and people were, one particular one, but it was the general consensus, the opinion was that it was a mistake. Ibrox?
No, I totally agree with them, mate. It was in the same watering hole I was in as well. A lot of them were saying Andy Halliday might have been terrible, but you do not do that to a player 4 minutes before half time. I think we just had it on the heat there as well, saying no manager worth his salt would ever do that to a player and embarrass him that way. But let's be honest, as soon as we've seen Andy Halliday's name on the team sheet, I think it says he played no minutes at all, really. I think he played a wee bit against Dundee, but you cannot bring somebody into this red-hot atmosphere, the way this match was going to be, that any of us fans knew the way it was going to be, and I'm sorry, and I've backed Mr. Murty up quite a lot of this, because I've spoke to him a number of times, the way that I follow the youth development when he was there, and the amount of times that I've spoke to him, but it just showed an absolute lack of ineptitude in that match. His tactics were awful. His overall insight of the game was totally lacking for me on Sunday, and you could kind of see that result coming, and it was embarrassing for a lot of us fans to watch. Maybe a lot more embarrassing for you guys who actually went to the game, but even us watching it in whatever local watering hole we were in, it was still very, very embarrassing to watch, and everybody knew it was coming.
Can I take Candias and Alves one for you, Dave? The way I seen it, I think what he done then was he was just frightened that when it looked as if it was going to went 3-0, that he was trying his best to stop it becoming 6 or 7, because that's what it looked like, mate. And that was the reason he done that, instead of leaving them with just Russell Martin, who can't run, can't jump, and can't kick the ball. Apart from that, he's not a bad player.
But it's one of these things as well, though, you know, like if you look at the body language, right, Kindle was raging when he came off. Granted, so would MDB at that point.
Aye, but it was, I get it.
Aye, Alves coming on as well. When he was getting the sub, and I think he put up the big 10 as if to say, I'm coming on, right, and give the guy a kind of high five or whatever. It was as if to say, I don't even know why he's asked me to come on. So was it lack of communication or something like that? But there was something in the players' reactions, body language, everything was about that they just weren't involved. They weren't communicated to. They didn't know what their role was. It was strange.
On you go, Pritch.
I was just going to say that last statement you made there, Dave, was absolutely spot on. They didn't know really what their role was. I'm quite sure that the formation they set them up in, they never played it before. But I doubt very much they even trained that way. Honestly, they just looked as if they didn't want to tackle. Not because I don't think they were scared in that sense, but you could see the confidence growing. Within 5 minutes, Celtic had them sussed.
But we didn't have a tackler in the midfield. Candias.
No, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you got a tackler or no. What I'm saying is, if you're told whatever happens, don't engage them. I think that's what's happened. They've been told to do it this way. Don't engage, and that's what's happened. Within 5 minutes, Celtic had it all sussed, knew what they were doing, and away they went.
Sorry, guys, that's you say, Ox. We've not had a ball winner. When was the last time we had a proper ball winner?
Candias, Murphy, maybe. Sometimes if they're on their game, you look good players in the position they play, they work hard, but they're no ball winners. Docherty, we've not seen Docherty as a ball winner. He's got a lot of energy. Jury's still out. Dorrans, he's a forward player in the midfield three. And Halliday, we watched Andy try to play as a defensive midfielder at lower levels. He's no got it in him. He's not that type of player. And with the greatest of respect, I don't know if he's good enough to be playing for our club. But none of them are ball winners. So who thought, how were we ever going to get the ball? And that was down to the manager. I mean, I said Halliday would be playing on Friday night because I thought he's cameo, because he looked as if he'd lost Holt had disappeared, Goss has disappeared, and none of they two are ball winners neither. The only ball winner we had on the park on Saturday was playing at centre back, who proved in Sunday he's not going to be a centre half. If he's going to make it as a professional, he's going to have to play as a defensive midfielder because he ain't physically strong enough to play at centre back. Dave?
100% agree with that, boy.
Aye, no, absolutely. I think with the goal as well, you know, you've seen that McCrory's probably best suited further forward, and I think he played a blinder when Ryan Jacknett disappeared midway through the season. He came in and he was strong, solid. I think the Old Firm game at Parkhead as well, he was taking Scott Brown on no problem, but that game there he struggled. And again, you could probably put it down to match fitness as well, because he just returned, but he's definitely not suited to centre back.
Anyway, we've been joined by the one and only True Blue. Evening, True.
Evening, Ox. How you doing?
Oh, I'm getting more and more browned off by the day, but there we go.
Aye. I think Andy Halliday getting embarrassed, the least of our worries, as somebody mentioned earlier, Dick Advocat done it to Fernando Rickson. I also remember a Celtic player getting sent on and getting pulled off again after about 20 minutes. I think Graham Murray, Lee Wallace and Kenny Miller, I think the three of them in that blow up was symptomatic of the problems going on behind the scenes. I said it last night, I've been saying it for as long on here, there is no infrastructure. I would be sacking the people who've been involved in the recruitment process with no PR. There's so much wrong with the club, and I agree with Ibrox Loyal. I think this summer is going to be hellish for us. I really do. We've got all these loanee players there. Where's the money coming for you to get them? If we decide we're going to keep them. It's obvious where it's coming for season ticket money, which is going to reduce any transfer budget we've got. So, you know, I think there are massive problems. Everything that happened Sunday, for me, was all this coming home to fruition. So, you know, Dave's brought up a lot of good points there, and points I've been banging on about for a while. Again, things are all right. We beat Dundee 4-0, everything in the Gardens Rosy. Doesn't work that way. You know, we're looking long term. I'm fed up every 6 months getting some other unknown or somebody thrown to the Lions in to manage your club. We're Rangers Football Club. I expect better for the board, a hell of a lot better. The board talked about stability at Ibrox as well. How many different directors? So you move forward for John Gilligan, we had Alistair Johnson come in. We've now had Douglas Park come in. We've had Stuart Robinson, is it? That's
CEO.
Aye, the other guy. We've got Andrew Dickinson, somebody else involved in finance. I don't know what the hell's going on at the club. The whole club is a basket case at the minute. And why a manager of any repute would want to come in and take that job now? I don't know. I think they'd be thinking seriously. I think the best we can hope for is somebody that's out of job at the minute and is looking to get back into the game, and is that the kind of manager we want? So here's all my positive spin on everything, so you can take it from there.
That guy that was in charge of Hearts, who was the manager that the Hearts get ready?
Cathro.
No, before him, the guy before him.
Robbie Nielsen.
He's hot favourite to take over the Rangers. Hot favourite.
I've seen that. I just seen that on Twitter there.
No chance. I mean, I know Robbie came from a Blue Nose background and that, mate, but I mean, he wasn't all right. He done okay at Hearts, but he wasn't exactly a raging success at MK Dons, was he?
Don't think I'll cut the mustard for the fans.
No,
for me, I'm afraid. No, I think he was a good player and stuff like that. These days, you see, he's got blue nose connections, but that doesn't count for everything for me, I'm afraid.
He used to play for us.
Aye, that's right.
When?
I think he was in the youth setup.
He was in the youth, was he? No.
You need to be on the first team before it counts if you play for us. He's old. The next thing you'll be telling us Ibrox loyal point by a Thistle.
He was a good player. You could probably put him into that squad.
And the player of the year dance they gave Ibrox a knife for the Oranges Bridge.
You'll be actually nicest compliment I've ever had after you. Thanks very much, mate.
Papa wrists.
Yeah, Papa Dom wrists. Big Ryan left you alone last night.
Dave,
for me, this is my personal point. I'll take it to you first, Dave, then I'll go to True Blue and we'll go around the panel. Dave, for me, I know True's got a slightly different point of view. We tried something with Mark Warburton. Ultimately, it failed. It done okay for a short period of time. It maybe gave us a bit of stability and a plan. It looked as if we were going forward. Ultimately, there was some fault behind the scenes that we've never heard about. And there was a partner of ways. Graham Murray came in. Wasn't he a raging success? Got a draw at Parkhead that we all get carried away with. And then Kachina came in and we thought, okay, right for the start. It just didn't look right. And about 6 months later, he was gone. That, for me, was the biggest error because the money that he spent this summer is going to hamstring us for years. Dave?
I agree. And I think the big call-out for all of that there is the lack of experience in all those managers. Tell me which ones have won any games in Europe, have won anything in the Champions League, have got any kind of pedigree behind them at all. And I think
I don't think you've been fair then. I think Pedro won his first game in Europe.
Aye, but come on, seriously, you need a manager that's a decent pedigree and it's got that behind it, the ability to change things within a game. I think it's been shown. Warburton used to frustrate the life out of me when he would never change it, or he'd change it on a set time, all the time, constant. Murty's inability to change at all, or when he does change, it's not right. Pedro did change it sometimes, and it was crazy. I mind the games where he put Haller in at right back and stuff like that, but that was probably just due to lack of players or the situation at the time, as opposed to that was a tactical change. But I just think it's lacking a pedigree manager, somebody that can come in that's got years of experience behind them, somebody that's won trophies, somebody knows what it's like to go through the hard times, the good times, the bad, how to change a game, how to mix it up, how to utilise a squad to the best of their ability, the man management skills in the dressing room and on the training park to be able to build up players. I think he's built up players like Murty just now. He's probably built up players, I don't know how to describe it, but like Windass and stuff like that, he's built up his profile in terms of made him feel good about himself, but in terms of reality, is he actually where he needs to be? Probably not. And it's just a manager that can do that can come in. And again, look at the time that they've got. So if they don't put Murray in a position before the end of the season. The manager's then got little time, if we do qualify for Europe, to restructure a team and then bring in players, get them to gel, and then put them into Europe. I mean, it could be that you get new transfers in, and then when they get into Europe, they're still not that time where they've gelled yet, and you could be out of Europe. And I know it sounds really negative, but it's the honest reality. Look what happened to us this season, do you know what I mean? And it's just about, we need a decent manager to come in.
True Blue.
Warburton was an experiment. Kashina was an experiment. Murray was a standby. I don't know who's doing the recruitment, and that's the thing that really disturbs me, and why they think it's acceptable to bring these guys in. That's the bottom line for me. I say Murray was thrown to the wolves, sink or swim. I think our board conceded this championship halfway through the season when Kashina left. They went for Derek McInnes publicly. It was an attempt to get him in. It was all played out in the newspapers and TV and everything else. And then there was a humiliation of the knockback and all the rest of it. It's not the way Rangers behave for me. So, again, Mr. Murray gets thrown in, couple of results against lesser opposition. All of a sudden he's a permanent manager at the end of the season. Sorry. No for me. Any of the three of them.
And I think it's Big Al, and it's no in hindsight, the guy's been saying it consistently, the global ambassador, the interviews, some of the antics to the side of the park, his handstands. Well, he doesn't come across as the worst guy in the world, but that's not what it's about being a Rangers manager, true, is it?
No, not at all, mate. You need steely determination. You need a fixation with that team and our club. Really, I would prefer to see somebody with some kind of affection for the club coming in and doing the business. All right, we can say the argument can be put. Dick Advocaat had no affiliation with Rangers, but Dick Advocaat spent a fortune at Ibrox. He was a checkbook manager, if you ask me. Played some good football, don't get me wrong, but he had players to do it with. I want somebody in who's got some kind of feeling for our club now. I think that's what we need, I really do. I'm sick of reading of people coming into the club who, I'm sorry, they should never be at Ibrox. Never be at Ibrox. With their past affiliations or the rest of it. I don't think you'll ever get 100% out of somebody like that. And I think in the course of a defeat, I don't think you'll get the same feelings of despair out of them either. So, I just think there's so much wrong at Ibrox.
We'll go to Big Ulster for the last word before Tune's going to give us a True Blue's going to sing a solo tonight. Everybody's been waiting for it. True, have you got the words dug out?
Aye, mate. If you're happy and you know it.
Clap your hands. Right, last words before we go to a tune to Big Ulster.
No, I agree with True and Dave there. I think we need somebody improving. I don't think up and coming and projects isn't going to work. We've tried all this, it's not happening. I think we need to get somebody in, a leader of men, to be honest, to grab that club by the scruff and grab the bull by the horns, whatever way you want to say it. And as we were talking about last night, someone who can identify a leader on the park and bring them in straight away. And I think if we keep, I know people say, the wages will cost a lot of money, but I think the amount of money we've wasted over these last couple of seasons, you could have spent that money, in my opinion, on a good manager, and you could have been in a better place than what we have been, going on the cheap.
All right, fair enough. And we're going to go to a tune, but the question I'll ask the panel, and when we come back after the tune, the first person I'll go to is Bridgeman. Simple question. Who? Go on mute, and Fox will give us a tune.
I've been in exile for some years, and my eyes filled up with tears when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. So I took a trip along just to hear some famous songs when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. I stood there all alone while the boys all down from home sang of Rangers, that team of great renown. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now on the field below, the boys put on a show, the likes they'd never seen at Molyneux. And it's football, it was grand, from Macmillan, Scott and Brand, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now the league flag must come nearer, with men like Bobby Shearer, the way he played at Wolverhampton town. And the world forever after would sing of Jimmy Baxter, for on his head they placed that noble crown. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now I knew it had to happen, I heard a mighty roar, the famous Glasgow Rangers they had scored. And the sky was white and blue, Wolverhampton shook right through, the loyal ramping Rangers had come through. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. When the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town.
Well, thanks for that, Fox.
When the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town.
I think that Fox
Sorry,
might have
boys.
been talking. I think he might have been talking to Corby Loyal, but I'll speak to him later. Anyway, the question I asked you was we were talking about managers, True Blue, saying somebody with affinity to your club. Who? Bridgman?
I would personally. I've said it all along. Most assuredly, I'd look for a world name, and for me, it would be De Boer. I just can't see past it. I've been wrong in the past many times, and I don't mind admitting it. But there is nobody else for me that's there, and I don't even know if the guy's interested. But as I say, we've got to go out, and they may even have started the ball rolling and getting their manager. But I do hope it's somebody with a bit of stature. And I don't want to be, seriously, I don't want to be going back to Ibrox and I'm much be the same with many thousands of Rangers fans and stand there and look at the dugout and watch another no-name manager when in front of a 50,000 crowd. When you get 50,000 fans in there supporting you, you deserve the best to be there for you. So I cannot see why they wouldn't go for a really good name, a big name. Big name manager with like 50,000. This manager can't cope with it.
True Blue, then Dave's Wine Cellar.
Who? Is that the question, Ox? Who?
Yeah, who?
No got a clue.
At least you're honest, True. I'll get you that.
No, I've not got a clue, mate. I see the difficulty with the board and all the rest of it, but I think we've had 3 experiments in our previous managers when it was completely inappropriate. I don't know about the De Boers, have they ever won anything, or, they were decent players.
They won four league titles, I think, in Ajax.
Nah, well, fair enough. Well, they were decent players at the club, and all the rest of it, but I don't know. I really don't know. There isn't a great majority of managers out there to pick for. I've heard people talking about Steve Clark, alleged Celtic supporter. Don't want him anywhere near the place in.
I think my understanding is he's a Kilmarnock supporter who maybe went to a school that we would have tried hard against at football, mate.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know about that, mate.
All
you
right.
know, but no
That's
for
my
me.
understanding. All right, Dave's wine cellar. Dave King's wine cellar. Just get a few of the bottles opened and get us sorted, please.
I know, absolutely. I don't know. Who's currently in the market? You get Alex Neil, Steve Clark, De Boer, Pardew, McInnes, McLaren, Cleash from Broncos, Jack Ross, Neil Warnock, and then Robbie Nielsen earlier on was quoted as well, and then there's the good old Walter in there. I don't know. I think, given what I said earlier on, I need somebody that's done it, tried and tested, won league trophies, experience in Europe, you know. I know that De Boer, he's won a couple of trophies with Ajax.
Seven games at Crystal Palace, never scored a goal.
There you go, bang on. He's a definite for the job then, isn't he? I'm not sure. I'm not sure the current people out there in the market are people that I'd necessarily want. I think if I was to put a name to one, it's probably going to be De Boer, but that's probably because it's somebody that's affiliated to Rangers gets what it is. But again, has he got the European experience as well? I'm not sure. And will he be able to have time to settle in? He had 7 games down the road, and they made the change that swiftly. If he came in and lost 7 games or even drew his first couple of games, would the fans accept it and allow it? Especially
toughest league in the world, though. Toughest league in the world,
I think.
Yeah.
But a guy come in who we need to. He's got that club safe. He's no points after 7, mate. You're a real raging certainty. You're doing.
Yeah, but when he came in, they've obviously made a statement. They get rid of him after 7 games and says, right, no matter what happens, you're staying to the end of the season. And he was given the time. De Boer was given no time and virtually no money to change things. So
You'd get sacked to Mace team, 7 games, no goals,
course.
mate.
It's a very tough league. If you don't score goals in there, you've had it. You've had it.
Would you stand for that at Ibrox? So if he came in and the 7 games in and you weren't winning,
do you? I'll ask you a question.
Back?
Dave, can I ask you a question? Do you think Frank de Boer would come into Rangers thinking, can he score a goal in 7 games? I'm sorry. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it.
No.
Frank de Boer will be a star for Rangers, in my opinion.
Knock him in off.
On you go, mate.
Crack him.
Why
Why
do we need a manager with a Rangers connection? We need the best manager we can get. We can't limit ourselves to people that have ex-players or ex-affiliations to Rangers. It's no working, mate. Nothing like that's working to me. We've got to go out there, pay the most we can for the best available manager, regardless of whether he's got affiliation to the club or not.
Anyway, as you might have heard, we've been joined by Al63. Evening, Al. How are you?
Hello, guys. I don't know. I've not got a lot of hair at the top of my head, but I was kind of scratching away there anyway, thinking De Boer. No. We need a guy who is a proven manager. I mean, if it comes down to the bit where it's that guy Warnock, that I don't really know a lot about, I would far rather have him than a De Boer. You kidding on?
Why was what's De Boer done wrong? He won the league 3 times in Holland.
Aye.
Well, aye, what?
What
you mean that's a bad bit? Is that bad?
Well, it's not great.
What do you mean? Oh, okay.
Well, if he'd won it in Germany, I would say, aye, okay then, but no for Holland.
He still won the league. He still won the league. He asked what he'd done. He won the league 3 times.
Dutch football's in its lowest ebb. It's been in about 30 years. Come on, get a rest. Dutch football is nice, but it's all based on nice wee guys and triangular passing and stuff. They've never moved forward. They had that thing that worked back in 1974. They've never went anywhere. The Germans know what they're doing. The English, I would say overall, even though it's all money as well, same as the Germans, they know what they're doing. I would say you'd have to bring in someone who knows how to do things against these top teams, because obviously we're not going to get the Man City, Man U, or any of the top 6 managers, because they just wouldn't leave. Too much money, and far more safety, especially if we stick with this board. We can't play any more of let's bring in so-and-so, because he might have did such and such at such and such a club. Frank de Boer himself was sacked at Inter Milan. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I know he's sacked, and it was quite short into his contract. And has been, to date, the worst, bar none, manager in English Premier Football history. Played 7-1 none. Spent, I don't know, over 40 million. We're a mess. We can't give him 40 million, and I don't agree with 40 million. I've heard some guys, I've read some guys in Follow and a couple of other places saying things like, oh, we need to spend 30, 40 million to get close to Celtic. Well, that's just nonsense. No, we don't. They never paid that, and we don't need to pay that because they aren't that great. But we are a basket case. We've got players there that shouldn't be there. They've got a kid on manager, no harm in a guy. I keep saying that. He wasn't contracted because he was a great manager. He was brought in because this inept board put all their eggs in one basket and they wanted Derek McInnes, and it didn't work out. I would also surmise that if they went and asked the boy Clark, the man Clark, I would imagine that just to make headlines, because he doesn't have to do anything, he's loaded now, he would turn around and say no anyway. His affiliation's the other side of the south. And I don't think he would come under this board either. I don't think many managers out there, even Warnock, I don't think Warnock or any of his ilk would ever come close to wanting to work under this board. This board needs to go. This is the same board that gave us the last three managers, and they're all a mess. This is the same board that gave probably the worst out of the three, 8 million or something to spend. No, I'm not really going to lose sleep over that 8 million, because that 8 million will still be getting paid in about 20 years' time, because that's how the deals were done. It was pay on the never. So
are you talking about Coutinho now? Are you talking about Coutinho?
Aye, Pedro, yeah. There's absolutely no way that the guys' contracts are getting paid up, and no contracts that they're, what do you call it? Their sales. Aye. The purchases are not getting paid between now and like next year or the year after.
All right, mate. All right, I'm going to take some of your points from the panel, but
we just need we need a guy who's long in the tooth and knows how to manage. That's
it. Plus 50, knows the game, good at football. Good. I don't know who you're talking about. We've been joined by Wheels, and we've been joined by George Logan. I'll go to Wheels first. How we doing, mate?
How we doing, guys? All right?
All right, mate. What's on your mind, mate? Have you been listening to debate? Any thoughts?
Aye. It's been a quiet day, isn't it? No, it's a bit of a disaster, mate. It's becoming a circus, if I'm honest. What I will say, though, is Kenny Miller, is it any coincidence? You know, I mean, the same thing happened with Kashina. Is it any coincidence, really? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not defending what allegedly happened, and I'll say the word allegedly happened, but maybe it's because he cares, and you know, everybody who listens to this show knows Kenny's one of my all-time favourites because of his previous employers. But maybe he generally does care, and things are said in the heat of the moment. I mean, I think we need to wait till proper investigation's done, but the whole thing of washing your dirty linen in public is turned as no helping, and it's hurting the support. Anyway, we've also been joined by George Logan before I go back to Wheels. Evening, George.
How you doing, boys? All right?
Hi, George. Jump for joy, mate.
Aye, brilliant.
Hurting, George. You're genuinely hurting, like everybody else on here, and yourself as well. Just when we thought we could move on and move upwards, we're rudderless, mate.
Well, I can you're on a different subject now, but I think it's a couple of guys that care. Again, that's a horrible thing, having a club of guys that care and guys that didn't want to get beat 4-0 off your biggest rivals. That's as far as I see that one. But on to your point about the manager, he came. I was all for Derek McInnes. I think we needed a guy like True Blue was saying. We needed a guy in at the club who knew the club and that British feel and that Scottish feel and things like that. I thought that's what we needed. I went away for that for a wee while, and I was running about Martinez and the Laudrup and De Boer and Van Bronckhorst. I was thinking along that lines, European connection, but still got the Rangers connection and things like that. But I'm back to thinking it's got to be I think we need a Scottish management team in there. At very least a British management team in there. Steve Clarke, put my helmet on whilst I say it. Derek McInnes, Barry Ferguson, guys like that. I think we need to get in there. Ken Fox's be Blue Vein will be coming out of top his head now, but I honestly think that's the way we've got to get back to our club. But I think we need a manager in there, and that's what I was saying. Barry Ferguson last night, he's not a manager, and I'm not talking about Barry Ferguson for a manager for a second, but I'm talking about Barry Ferguson as a coach who's not just got to be a yes man like Jonathan Johansson is, like Jimmy Nicholas. They're just yes men. They'll just sit there and nod their head. I think we need a manager in there. For me, Steve Clarke, possibly Steve Clarke, or the other one I would say would probably be. I think the club's actually still thinking about McInnes, to be honest. I think along the lines of that we are Barry Ferguson or an Alex Ray or one of these guys. And I can't everybody's got to say
Aberdeen might drive him down after Saturday's performance. I know they had George. You might drive him down. I don't think he's getting it easy up there now. That's
the thing. But a lot of folk will be saying, what about what he done at Clyde and what about this? But I think we need a management team in there that know what this club means, what the fans mean and all that. And I can we've got Kevin Thompson there, and we've got Jonathan Johansson and Jimmy Nicholl and all that. Jimmy Nicholl was at Falkirk before he came to Rangers. Kevin Thompson was coaching under 15s. I think we need guys who's been managers at clubs, even a Davy Moyes or somebody like that, a right proper manager, a guy that's been a proper manager, because what we've got to know is just a complete and utter nonsense, but a Barry Ferguson to help him, or an Alec Ray to help him, or something along the lines. I think that's the way we've got to go. Like,
George, I know that sometimes passion can run high, and I'll take this to Rudy next week when I'm finished with yourself. I'm sorry if I can't give everybody the time, we've got a lot of callers, but for you, George, in this cycle, what's been the biggest mistake? With the management, was it Warburton? Was it Kachina? Was it Murray? What's your thoughts?
I'm not going to sit here and say Warburton was a mistake, because I thought Warburton was a great appointment at the time.
Fair comment, mate. Aye.
I thought the way he was going down south and bringing in the guys, it's all right saying the never, but I thought guys like Waghorn and people like that should have actually worked up here. Ken, they should have actually come. Joey Barton should have been a great player up here. I didn't know how it never went right for the guy. I thought his football to start with. I mean, look at Bridgman. Bridgman had the best 6 months of his life when Warburton was here with the song and things like that. So I think that was a great appointment. The board's made an absolute complete and utter nonsense there, an appointment with Casino. And I think they tried to go and get, in my opinion, the number one target was Derek McInnes. They couldn't get Derek McInnes, and they didn't want to get egg in their face again and go for somebody else. That was a stupid mistake. They should have been out, like True said the other night there, immediately straight after that, and went, and you shouldn't need to beg anybody to be the Rangers manager, but you should have went to Alex McLeish and said, look, you weren't their first choice, but go and give a turn at the end of the season. Just get us through this season, and that's what it should have done. So that's the two mistakes I've made. But appointing that guy, they tried something that could have worked. Maybe I don't know how they thought about that, but they backed him at the Holt way back in Casino. I thought they made a mistake there, and they definitely made a mistake with letting Murray run to the end of the season, because he's not a football manager, and I don't think he ever will be a football manager. And you get these guys, possibly Barry Ferguson and Alan McCoy, are good coaches, but they'll never be football managers. And I think that's what he's ever going to be of.
I think he might have to go back to the youths, mate. I can't see him being a manager anywhere in what I've watched in the last few weeks. I just don't think he can handle it. Rudy Bear.
I think to go back to Mark Warburton, I think he was what we needed at the time to get us at the Championship, because Ali had failed to do it, hadn't he? So Mark Warburton came in, we were all up for it. Football was good, we were scoring plenty of goals. I think we were undefeated in his first 10 games, I think it was, or something like that. Something like 8 wins and a couple of draws, maybe. But he was what we needed at the time, so you can't really say. I mean, it's certainly, we were on here many a night having a gripe about failing to win games and stuff like that under Mark Warburton. But for me, the biggest mistake the board has made is, without a shadow of a doubt, the Pedro Caixinha. That episode was just, I don't know. I think what they thought they were doing was thinking outside the box. They must have been out their box when they made that decision, because that was just an unmitigated disaster. That's what that was, bringing Pedro in. And to give him the amount of money and the leeway to sign the players that he signed, and the money he spent on some of the players was just, that's going to be a problem for a while. because I don't see us getting rid of any of the players. You know, guys like Herrera and Pena. Looks like Pena's on his way back. You know, what a disaster that's been. I think the whole problem is for the board, you know, in many respects, is the fact that there's no a standout candidate. Mark Allen, apparently, around about the time they were talking to, I think it was just before they were talking to McInnes, Mark Allen gave the board a list. I don't know who was on the list. I would like to know who was on it, but I don't know who was on the list.
I can tell you one name that was on it, Rudy.
Who's that?
Steve McLaren.
Steve McLaren's name on it then? Right, okay. Yeah. Right, so he's gave them a list, and I think at the time the board were still wanting to throw their weight about, you know, as far as deciding who they were going to sign on. I don't think they were giving Mark Allen free rein at the time as director of football. That might have changed by now, because I think what we've got on the board are guys that are no exactly, none of them have football experience per se. They're all businessmen, you know. And for me, you're as well to let a football man make a decision. If you've got more than you're paying the guy a wage, they should have took more notice of the list that he gave them. Or they didn't want to at the time. They went for McInnes. I think there was a big shout, you know, for quite a lot of guys on the board for McInnes, and look how that turned out. That was just another debacle for me as well. You know, one of a kind of long line of, you know, just. It was a mess, actually, by the end of it all. It was embarrassing as well, another embarrassing carry on. For me, there isn't a standout candidate, and I think that's, I mean, you asked True there, who do you think? True says he's not got a clue. I'm a bit like True as well. I don't really have a clue either, simply because, I mean, you're talking about De Boer. De Boer actually didn't win 3 titles, he won 4 titles in a row at Ajax in Holland. He's the only Dutch club manager to win 4 titles in a row. Had a terrible time at Inter Milan, and then you saw what happened down south, 7 games.
Can I just say something, Rudy?
Just a minute.
Well, now you got no, it's dead quick, Oxford. Now you got the 4 titles. See right now, that Tarrier guy across the road, across the city, he's got to do a back-to-back treble. He only won 4 because Dutch footballs was on. It's on its knees.
Yeah, well, you could be right, Alan. I don't know. I don't follow Dutch football that closely. You know how you look at the results every now and again.
I just look to Europe, mate, just to see where they go. No? So,
I'm not. That's not what you say. I want De Boer. I'm just pointing out the fact that he won. He's been the only Dutch club manager to win 4 in a row.
I'm just fed up with trainee things.
But what I'm saying, I think he'd be a project, De Boer, as well. I think that's what he would be. I think you'd need to give him plenty of money and plenty of time. Certainly plenty of time to build a team, build a squad. As I say, they had a terrible time at Inter, and not a great time there. And then you saw what happened when he went down south and all. So I'm not so sure if that's it. I mean, I've said on here before, I'd much rather have a British manager that understands British football. Scottish football to me is an entity all on its own. I said before, some of the tackling that goes on up here, you'd never get away with anywhere else. So I think we need somebody that can kind of, you know, combat that, and you know, and for me, the only one that sort of sticks out a wee bit for me is what you call him at Cardiff. God, I've forgotten his name now.
Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock. Simply because he's had the experience. Simply because he's had that experience, a British footballer, and he's had a long career. And he's done really good things as well, Neil Warnock. You know, he knows how
promotions.
to get a
he's got a lot of promotions, but he's not done well when he's got them up to the top league. We'll go to Dave's wine cellar, and then we'll go to Big Ulster. Dave King's wine cellar, should I say?
Still not sure. I think where it went wrong, probably Casino. I think giving him the 10 million.
Big mistake for me. Big mistake.
You still get Pena there, you've got Herrera, you've got Dalcio. I don't know what quite happened with Dalcio's deal though. Did we have an opportunity to put him back in January, but we kept him on, or was that a whole season and they couldn't return?
Whole season deal, in my understanding, mate. So we've got with loan to China when you take a punt, doesn't it work? That's fair. You know,
but we probably will at the end of the season. We'll sign him on a 4-year deal, I think.
He's got potential.
No, I think Casino's been the big one. I think the earlier points were right. Warburton did what we need to do to get the championship. We won convincingly. We did really well. I think possession-wise we were really good. Goals-wise as well, I think did really well. I think the only time that I remember through the Warburton era was hiding when it came to kind of defending free kicks or corners. But then Cassina came in and brought a whole new ball game altogether. I think getting that amount of money to spend is probably going to take us 2 or 3 years to recover, if not more.
Brokers.
Still got the players.
Brokers.
Aye. We've still got the players there just now that we've still not got rid of off our books. Penner's coming back, like I said earlier on, and that's a challenge on its own. Absolutely.
Has that been confirmed? I thought he was in. That was the season. Well, it was a season, a year's loan deal, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think then that would be him coming back, wouldn't it?
Aye, but it's a year's loan deal. I think it's to next Christmas minimum. That's from memory.
So.
That's from memory.
I hope so. To be honest with you, I hope so.
Yeah.
And then Murty, I think Murty's been brought in. I think Murty, nobody will deny, he's a nice enough guy, you know, but in terms of being a manager that's the standard of Rangers or to command their dressing room and make changes tactically when required, just wasn't the case. And I think it's now tarnished his career, back to earlier points again, is that has he messed up his actual career with Rangers now, not even going back to 21s? Will that be the case, or is it he'll get pushed out and pushed aside? I'm not sure, and I don't know where the board stand on that, but he's not doing himself any favours either, hanging out and staying around. He probably would have just, see, after the Celtic game, if it was me, I'd have said, look, guys, that I've tried to do my best, but you know what? I'm clearly not cutting it where it required to the standards of football for Rangers and what's expected of me, so
Dave,
I'm going to pass it over.
Dave, the thing about Graham Murty is, over the last couple of days, and certainly the day, I don't know, you might have seen some of the stuff that the Rangers fans have been writing about him on saying about him on social media. I can't see now how he can style it. I don't know how he can go back to the development squad now. I think there's some real vitriol on social media now, real vitriol, and I don't see how he can stay there now, Dave.
I'm one of those people that see and we all agree, Andy Hardy was horrendous, right? But when they brought him off, that was, for me, that was the final straw. I thought, regardless of whether I'm a nice guy or no, see, if I'm a nice guy, I don't keep my job. I don't keep my position because I'm a nice guy. If I'm not tactically up to it or qualified up to it, then I make the choice to move on before I'm actually punted. I think that's the position just now where Murty is. He probably should move on just to save face, because nice enough guy as he is, but he's just not.
Yeah. I made the same point the other night.
We've won one game in 5.
No good enough.
One game in 5 when you weigh it up. Celtic twice, Motherwell, Kilmarnock, and Dundee. We've won 1 out of 5. That's a fact.
He's lost. By the way, guys, can I just say? Sorry, pal.
On you go, mate. On you go. Sorry, mate.
I was just going to say I can't see. I said it a couple of weeks ago. I can't see him in his mind wanting to go back to the coaching under 20s, and now I can't see him even getting that far. I think he'll be asked to finish up at the end of the season by the board. It may in fact be pressure on him to resign, and it depends what happens with this investigation. I think Oxford had a good point earlier on when he said he would have expected all parties, if indeed he was involved in it, but he would have expected all parties to be suspended on full pay until such time it was resolved, because HR are involved, and that's the HR procedures. And I don't understand why he's there, other than the fact that I don't know if he was involved at all.
We're assuming a lot. We don't know if he was involved, so we've got to watch what we see.
Yeah.
Ulster, and then we'll go to Wales.
I agree with the points. I think out of the past 3, I think Pedro was the biggest disaster for us. Still bewildered why we got him. Who in the board thought this was going to be a good appointment? I don't know what the thought process was in that. It's going to cost us for a few seasons to come, I think, trying to get rid of these players on the big wages. For me, going forward, I think I'm not too sure who would like as managers. A few names are bandering about, but it needs to be a proven one. And I think the board have to stay out of it, to be honest. I think they need to give the director of football the reins on this one, because they've proved the last 3 times, and trying to get McInnes, that they're just, they're failures when it comes to getting the managers in and picking the right people. So I need to let Mark Allen, director of football, make a decision on this, to be honest, because as much as they're maybe good businessmen, they're not football men, and I just don't have any trust in them to get the right man, to be honest.
Exactly.
Wheels. And then Al 63.
I mean, we've definitely made a couple of mistakes in terms of appointments over the last couple of years. For me, I'm of the opinion that, and I've been a Murty fan.
We did try and warn you, didn't we? We did try and warn you.
Listen, though, right? I'm still going to say it.
Thanks for the call, caller.
I think people have been too harsh on him. I think too much blame has been placed on him, and not enough blame has been placed on the players.
Well, I think I get where you're coming from that point of view, but mate, he totally looks at somebody who's so far out his depth. It's became embarrassing, mate. We're not talking about the guy as an individual, and you're spot on. And I think Fox was beating that drum last night, long before any of this broke. There's something wrong with the players at Ibrox. There's something wrong with the dressing room. Yeah. And he's right. But, mate, ultimately at a football club, whether you like it or not, I think it's right or wrong, you don't sack 30 players. You move the manager on and bring a new manager on. That happens at every club in the land.
Do you think it's that, have the players lost the respect for Murty?
He's so far out his depth, mate. And that's with us, when you're seeing him, he's at some of his things. He's naive to a point. It's embarrassing and cringeworthy. And he's just... Look, we try and be positive all the time. When somebody gets a job within 2 weeks, you don't want to say that, oh, this is unbelievably bad. You've got to give somebody a fair crack at the work. We're talking of De Boer. We've won one game in 5, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one game in 5 at the critical end of the season.
I have to agree with what Fox said earlier on. I think we need to get away for this whole, it's got to be a Rangers man.
So you think Murty's the best guy for the job?
No, I'm not saying that. If I was going to choose, I know there's been a lot of names bandied about.
Who would you go for, guys? Who would you go for?
For me, it would be Warnock, just for the passion the guy's got.
I think. On you go. Who's coming in there?
Fox.
On you go.
I'm a wee bit like Gary, as you know. I think the players are to blame. And I can go back to when we were in America, mate. We came back from America. The squad looked bonded. They played well together. They played very well. Only defeat was against Hibs, against the run of play to me, when we got a man sent off. Up until we came to the Celtic game, mate, the 3-2 game. And during that time, mate, 2 players were out injured. The 2 that's in the melee just now. They weren't in America when the close season, the squad came back and was jailed. But as soon as they've been back round about the periphery of the first team squad, mate, they haven't been able to get into the team. Declan John was playing well, was keeping Lee Wallace out. Kenny Miller was being kept out with Morales. And I think it's been since they've got fit that the manager has been undermined. And that's why the results have turned the way they are, mate. That is my opinion. And I think Graham Murty's getting a real raw deal out of this, mate.
On you go, Ulster.
Well, I'll tell you, I agree with that. And I said the same thing last night. I know we were talking about this. Different people, I think, hinted the O'Halloran and different things and who was causing disruption. And while we were on the show, I actually private messaged Mount Vernon. And I said, I didn't want to put it on the show because I just thought, people would go mad. So I didn't do it. So I private messaged him and I said the same thing. Now, I have a feeling that Kenny Miller is a big disruption in our team when he's fit and he's not playing. It's a bit like deja vu because the same thing happened. His wife was tweeting about Pedro after a few games he didn't get on. His wife done the same thing after the game on Sunday. And my personal opinion is that Kenny Miller is a big, big disruption in our team, and he gets on like a child, in my opinion, behind the scenes when he's fit and the manager's not picking him. It's as if he feels that he has a right to be there. He was in squads with Ali McCoy's team where we got beat by Rafe Rovers in the final, but he was playing at the time. And this didn't come out, none of the gurning, none of the arguing. Same thing under Warburton when we lost some of the major games, but he was still getting picked. It seems to be when he's in a squad and the manager who is ever in charge isn't picking him, then he's causing havoc. And I think as long as we're getting rid of Murray, and I agree with getting rid of Murray. I think Kenny Miller, especially, I don't know much about Lee Wallace, but definitely Kenny Miller needs to be away from our dressing room.
Well, Kenny Miller, I'll come back to you.
Sorry, it's Wheels, mate.
Yeah, I'll come right back to Wheels, but then I'll go to L63, who's been waiting patiently because I know what he's like. Kenny Miller, Kenny Miller's got, even if this whole debacle hadn't happened, anybody who thinks he had 5 potential games left at our club, and then he was going into the sunset anyway, so it's not a dramatic fix in the dressing room. So we'll see where that takes us. On you go, Wheels.
I was just going to say, mate, I've seen a lot of posts today on Facebook and all that, fans talking about what Kenny Miller and Lee Wallace have done for the club and all this, right? It doesn't matter what they've done for the club, because you could be there 20 years. As soon as you undermine the manager, any job you're in, not just football, any job you're in, doesn't matter how long you've been in that job, as soon as you act unprofessional towards the manager, you're in trouble. Do you know what I mean? So that's my take on that. I just feel that too many people are looking at what they've done for the club. That doesn't mean that they can just walk about and act however they want.
All right, okay. I mean, they've both been with our club a long number of years, and Kenny Miller at times has been a talisman for us, scored big goals, but I don't think he's one of the greatest ever Rangers, and Lee Wallace has they were close to neither, in my opinion. Trevor will be on in a minute. Al 63.
Yeah, I agree. Miller's gone, but are gone. So forget about Miller. One of the worst left backs we've ever had. Wallace, he'll be gone as well. So I'm not going to lose any sleep over the two of them. The wee bit I've got about Murray, which wasn't my point, but I'm correct in saying that Murray's over 40-year-old, isn't he? And he's 40 odds. And a couple of guys give him it in the neck because of whatever, and he goes running off to the boardroom. Nah, he's got to go for Ibrox as well. He's no man enough. And if you're an under-20s player, you're going to look into these things and you're going to hear a lot more than we hear. And these guys are not going to respect him now either. He can forget it. His time at Ibrox is gone. And I've also heard that the fella, what's his name? Ex-Dundee United, is he's not doing the under-20s now? I can see his face, can't I get his name? And he's supposedly doing a lot better than him, so...
McKinley.
Oh, Kirkwood.
Kirkwood, it's Kirkwood, isn't it? Aye. So we're as well without him, so he can go. If we're not going to get rid of the board, and I've seen this because lots of guys in that lobby are saying this board's here to stay, I would love us to get rid of the board. I think we're very sellable now. But if I'm not going to go and the guy King's get his own ideas and that, then obviously I'm going to hope it works. I'm not stupid enough to, or not nice enough to think, he's going to do something good for Rangers and blah, blah, blah. Up to now, they've not. Up to now, the only thing they've done is get rid of the Spurs that we hated and get rid of the Mike Ashley deal, which is great. And a lot of folk have said, well, he's done his wee bit, let him move on now. And other ones are saying he's not going anywhere. Well, if he's not going anywhere, then bring us in a manager and let that manager spend a few bob, because the players we've got are not good enough. This idea that so-and-so went undermined this, that and the next thing, and this puts players... Well, who's kidding who? This is their livelihood. They wake up in the morning, this is where they go to work. They're there to give 110%. For some strange reason against that mob there on Sunday, not one of your guys get closer than 3 yards to them. And that's just scary. That's beyond scary. I've never saw a Rangers team act like that. There's something just totally wrong behind the scenes. That's me. I'm finished.
On you go, Bridge. I know you're dying to get in there, and then we'll go to Dave King's wine cellar.
Yeah, like what Alan said there at the end is probably true. We never went anywhere near them in the park, and by the looks of it, off the field, we're not going anywhere near them. And so slowly but surely, all the hope that we had, maybe 4 weeks ago, we had a lot of hope. Maybe 5 weeks ago, before we played them, we had a lot of hope. And it seems to be dissipating we need to try to lift ourselves out of this mire that we feel we're in. Now that may take a bit more time than we're due to get, but we've got a big game coming up on Saturday. We haven't even spoke about it. Huge game at Ibrox against Hearts. And we need to get ourselves back together, both as a team, a club, and a support. If there's been any trouble at all between two players in the dressing room, if they've been calling the manager inappropriate names or approaching the manager in a bad way, the HR's been called in, and that'll be taken care of from an HR perspective. That's all we need to do. We need to know about that. We don't need to say any more about those players insofar as what's happened with the manager. The manager will, I would imagine, somewhere along the line, will ask the board to take. So can he just go in the next couple of weeks? I can't see him staying, and I can't see the board wanting him to stay. So we need to, as a support, we need to start to gel again. We need to get over our hurt, and we need to get back on board again, because we have got the rest of the season to finish.
All right, that's covered the first of Dave King's Wine-Cellars points tonight, and we'll move on to the second point. Dave?
Hey, this is a monthly show. This is going to take a month, tell me. No, I'd probably echo just the previous points here. I think probably let's try and put a positive spin on it. You know, looking forward to Saturday. We've got games there still to win at the end of the season. Looking at last week's game, if there's going to be changes, what changes would you make to that team?
Is McCrory suspended? Or is it the Scottish Cup next year?
It'll be the Scottish Cup next year, mate.
Right.
It does not come into League Affairs because it was a
cup time.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do you think we'll appeal that, Loyal? Do you think we'll appeal that red card?
Oh,
no.
By the way, when you looked at it, there wasn't. They went doing awful easy. Fox, I know you're there, mate. You studied it a few times. Just quickly.
There was definitely shot pulling going on, mate, as they approached the box. I think he did odd on to him inside the box, mate, but them barely went down like a ton of bricks, mate. When the whistle first went, I thought he was going to book him for diving. But when I seen the penalty, I says to you, I must have been wrong there. But I've watched it again, mate, and no way was there enough for him, a man of his size, to go down, mate. But McCrory would have been better chopping him, to be honestly. At least he'd have made an attempt to have the ball, and he wouldn't have been only booked, mate. That was McCrory's inexperience there, and a good centre-half would have tried to get a tackle in if he was getting away from him. You also need to remember, Dembele was going nowhere at the time, mate. It wasn't a real goal-scoring opportunity for him at the time, so I didn't think it was a nailed-on penalty, if you want.
Can I quickly say something else?
On you go, mate.
Oh, see when the two of them are running towards the box, McCrory all game up to the sent off was wrong side of him all the time, and I feel sorry for him because I wouldn't have started him because he wasn't ever match fit. It was a shame. He was hung out to dry, the boy McCrory. But on the run that the two of them made towards the 18-yard box, McCrory did grab him, but it was too much a grab. He also let go of him, and then it went into the box, and the two of them were running for it. McCrory got his foot to the bar. Now, I don't know where the ball ended up, because I just saw him kicking the ball, and it looked like I thought, is that going back to the goalie, over the bar, by the post? I don't know where it was going, but it was McCrory that kicked the ball. But whether he kicked it hard enough or not, I sort of saying I don't know, because I don't know where the ball went. Dembele then out-muscled him, and McCrory put his left hand on the back of his shirt, and he grabbed his shorts with his right hand, and it was a penalty all day long. But I feel sorry for the guy, because I wouldn't have started him.
Was sent off for me, but that's a personal view. True Blue.
Aye, Ox, can I just go back to the Murty thing for a minute?
Aye, of course you can, mate, if I've no came for it. Sorry, mate.
I mean, that's all right. I was just interested in listening to all the different viewpoints. I was thinking back there, see the day Murty was appointed, I asked the question on the show, is this guy going to get any respect off our players? And I think I've stated the case in particular about Bruno Alves. 80-odd caps for Portugal, played for some of the top teams in Europe. He comes over here, walks in, the guy that signed him's away pretty quickly. and then they're asking this under-20s coach to tell them what to do. Now, you'd Bruno Alves, you'd Lee Wallace, I'm talking off the top of my head here, Lee Wallace, Kenny Miller, all international experience, and you've got a boy coming in, under-20s coach, and he's going to coach you and tell you what to do. I just don't think he had respect for the start, mate, sorry.
Aye, True Blue. I don't know what I mean. Obviously, we've always got a personal point of view. I mean, the biggest hee-haw for me was the Pedro one, and I think we should have been got a manager, mate. But we've not been fair on Graham Burton either, mate. If I'm being really honest.
I'm not apportioning blame to him. Again, the blame goes to the people who thought it'd be all right to stick him in there. You know, as for a penalty, aye, it was 100% penalty because the referee gave it.
Aye, end of. Dave King's wine cellar. I mean, I think if McCrory is fit, he should play in midfield. I think that centre backs. I just don't know who we're going to play. I mean, I don't know what you think. I think that Russell Martin. If we sign him, I don't know where we're going to go, mate, because he's got nothing to offer for what I've seen, mate. I thought he was even worse in Halliday on Sunday. There you go, and that's gone some, in my opinion. Dave?
I think that's the kind of feedback that we got as well off the fans for Norwich when he came up as well, is that they were all saying thanks for taking him. I've not seen anything, from my point of view, that would say I keep him on. I think he's somebody that's got a lot of experience, somebody that should do well in this league. But you know what? It's like the likes of Alves and the likes of Joey Barton as well. All these big name players, probably Doran's to expect as well, that should come up with a big name and stroll this league. But I think they found it quite challenging, and probably put that again back to the manager. Is it because of the manager who's trying to manage them? Maybe. I'm not sure. If another manager came in, if those players are still there, do you think they would get them to perform better? I'm not sure.
It's a tough one, but then if we don't play him on Saturday, do we go with Alves and Cardozo?
That's a bomb scare just waiting to happen, is it not?
Mate,
Cardozo, I've seen absolutely nothing whatsoever for Cardozo. I mean, I've not seen much for Martin and Alves either, in all honesty, but Cardozo, for me, your boy's, he should be one of the ones out the door come the end of the season for me, because I've seen nothing for him.
Agree with you, but
I do agree about McCrory. CDM's his position, Ox. We say that often on our phone here for weeks before he get injured, you know. The boy was certainly coming into his own in that position, and I think when he got injured, I think we missed him. I really do think we missed him, you know. I know Big Al preferred him at the centre-back. I'm sure it was Big Al, you know, was banging the gong for having at centre-back. But no, for me, his position's CDM. I don't think the boy's got the strength to play at centre-back, you know. And he's still a young boy as well, you've got to remember, you know. Centre-back's it's a pretty, you know, you need a boy, you need somebody a bit, you know, sort of, he's done a bit in his career to play that position properly. That's what we thought Alves, we were getting that for Alves. But for me, Cardozo and Alves at the back's just a nightmare, man. Just a bomb scare.
Can I just say that, in all honesty, the two that we've got left from a centre-half perspective is, in fact, the guys that Kachina brought in. And that was going to be, at the beginning of this season, that was going to be the centre-half pairing that would take us forward. We're obviously dreading that those two are actually going to be the two guys that are going to go in. I don't know if he'll play McCrory at centre-half against the Hearts. I don't think he should. I think he should prove from a midfield perspective, we ain't got empty defensive mid, and they need to move that boy into that. And they need to play Alves and Cardozo in all probability. I dread to think what the team's going to be like in this weekend, but we really need to start lifting. The manager needs to lift the team. We need to lift the club. The fans need to lift themselves, and all the rest of the good things that need to be done. But my God, are we in a bad state? We're a Glasgow Rangers team. We can't get decent centre halves. Just bad news. Bad news.
Is Bates injured?
He's still injured.
He's been injured. Yeah.
I wouldn't play him again, mate. Honestly, Bates, no offence to the guy as a person, but I wouldn't play Bates for our club again, mate. Once he's done what he's done for me.
But he's not done anything bad.
Well, he's not done anything bad.
He was only offered 250 quid. Top of what he was getting.
That's no my understanding, mate.
That's absolute nonsense, by the way.
How much is offered then? That's nonsense. You tell me.
I wouldn't discuss anybody's wages on here, mate. Not even mine. When you go, George.
Between that Alves and the guy Penner, who's over in Mexico just now, they're over 50 grand between them.
I wouldn't deny that, Al, but I mean, David Bates was offered £250.
Aye, but David Bates is playing in our first team. That wee guy is over in Mexico.
Aye. He's always got some age in that.
And the Germans, I might be paying him around about 15 grand.
I think it's Norman Bates you're getting mixed up with.
Aye.
I would play Bates in front of the centre backs we've got. Well, he's going to...
Yeah, but he's injured.
He's not fit.
He's injured,
I would play him anyway. We played some guys there.
He's injured.
We'll play him in one leg. George, you want to come in? Might as well give Bridge a game as a trialist. Not the first time you've been in trial, Bridge.
I know. I keep passing these places I've been. I don't want to talk anymore.
All right, can we have that for the next 3 nights?
Not about that subject. I didn't mean about that subject.
All right, sorry, mate. Sorry. Wait a minute, we've got to George Logan, who could wait in Paisley, who could teach the rest of us a bit on manners. Obviously, George has been brought up, not dragged up. Let me go, George.
What I was going to say, no, I see what you're saying there about folk. We might change this, we might do that, I might do the next thing. I'm sorry, I've been saying it for day one, Ox, and you kind of have just the fact they were calling him Merchant. I didn't think the guy was a manager and things like that. There's absolutely no way he'll change anything on Saturday. It'll still be a 4-2-3-1. It'll probably be the same personnel that'll be in the team. The only difference, Kenny Miller will not be on the bench. Andy Halliday will possibly not be on the bench, and there will Cardozo because of what happened. That's the only difference. He's not got a clue how to change anything. He's not got the managerial skills how to change anything. Looks. It'll be the exact same, and we'll be very lucky if we win. We've got 5 games to go. I think we'll be lucky if we win 2 or last 5 games to go, and it's all down to him because he's absolutely clueless. Ox. He's not got a bit of managerial skill whatsoever. And a lot of folk will say that's down the board for leaving him in charge. That's fair enough. But if every single one of us on Saturday could turn around and say we're happy because Windass isn't in the team because he's gutless, and you bring him on with 10 minutes to go in the first half, that shows you how much a clue he's got. He's absolutely clueless, and we'll go absolutely nowhere with him for the next 5 games of the season.
George, see what you said there about us going to maybe only win 2 games. Right at this moment in time, I'll grab those 2 games and fight for the rest of them. My God, it's really bad when you get sort of dyed in the wool Rangers fans thinking we're not going to win 2 out of 5. It's just shocking. Well, we'll only win 2 out of 5, should I say. Bad news.
We'll win on Saturday again. That'll be us going to win the Champions League. Anyway, on we go, Wheels.
Thanks, mate. I just want to mention something quickly, right? I just want to pass this round if you don't mind.
Remember the time, mate?
I know, mate. Yeah. A few short weeks ago, we were all raving about Sean Goss. So my question is, did we get it wrong?
Well, Sean Goss didn't have the greatest game against Celtic. I think there was reasons for that. We've seen that. He was 3 against 2. And then I think he played against Kilmarnock and didn't have a good game, and then he's disappeared totally out the picture. He still looked not a bad football player out of the piece since we've seen him, but the manager chose not to pick him. I'll go to old Dave King's wine cellar, see his thoughts on Goss.
No, I totally agree. I think he did show glimpses of good football, good skill, a decent player, but for some reason or another, he just get dropped for the team. I think it was under poor performances, and like you say, never had a look in ever since.
Disappeared completely. Big Ulster.
He did start off pretty well, but we've seen others doing that as well and then falling out of it a wee bit. I think we go over the top sometimes on players, and maybe myself included. I think that's because we're just looking for any glimmer of hope, and we see someone doing, having a half decent game when maybe, we'll maybe go over the top just, I think. But I think that game against Celtic, he got bullied in the midfield, to be honest. And I think if we're going to continue with playing 2 or 3 in the midfield, and maybe, as we know, these other teams we're playing against seem to flood the midfield because they know that's our weak point. And for me, Goss probably isn't that strong player that we need in there. And for me, I'd be as much as I think Martin's been a failure as well, I'd be playing him, and if we can get some other centre back in beside him, I don't know if Alves is still fit. After I think he had a niggle in the Old Firm game, I don't know what way he is, but in my opinion, we'd be playing Ross McCrory centre defence midfield because he's not a centre back.
All right, last word of the evening before we have brief shout-outs. It's the one and only Ibrox Loyal.
Aye, just as Dave King was saying there, mate, we've seen glimpses. Got to remember, he's still a young boy, and let's be honest, we never knew a few weeks ago whether we'd be able to afford him come the end of the season because of the league that he's in, and they could ask for whatever transfer fee they want. So whatever happens for the young boy, I wish him all the best. If he comes to a club and we can afford him, then good enough.
All right, gentlemen, can I thank you for your courtesy and the way you've conducted yourself this evening? It's been the first-class debate. Big shout to Dave King's wine cellar for coming on and starting us all off. Thanks very much, Dave. Give us a shout-out.
Probably just to a gentleman who's normally on the show, but for some reason or other he's not on tonight. And he's always got good debate as well, which is Mount Vernon.
Oh, Mount Vernon, all right. Yep. Met him on Sunday. Smashing lad. Great bear. Loves the Rangers. Hurting like the rest of us, mate. True Blue.
Big shout to everybody. Again, that called in. It's always a show thrives in colour, so well done, lads.
We always seem to thrive in bad news as well.
Oh, I know, mate.
Ulster.
Yeah, just to shout to everybody involved, the club and playing staff, the management staff, to board. Stop making a fool out of us, please, and get your act together for these last 5 games.
Hull 63.
I loved what Ulster said to now there. Yep, this board's got to do something. Stop. You're actually hanging the Rangers fans out at this point, and you need to stop it. That's me. Nothing else.
Cheers, Al. Ibrox Loyal.
Just another great show, some really great points. We'll on tomorrow night for some more great debate.
Rudy Bear.
I'm going to give a shout out to Big. I'm going to give a shout out to Big Al. He was running to catch a plane when we heard from him last night. I think we're global ambassadors on the way over here to sort the board out. You know what I mean? So thank for Big Al.
You might be right. And if he gets his holiday, 2 players, I don't know what he'll do, you know.
I know.
All right. George Logan, mate.
Still hurting for another pumping after that lot on Saturday.
Tell me about it, George.
Marching season's coming soon, Ox, and we'll get our rain back.
You're right, mate, you're right. Wheels?
Great show again, guys. My shout out is going to the rest of the playing squad. Please don't let what's happening affect us and go for a strong finish to the season.
Fox?
Good night, thanks for listening.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, I'd just like to echo everybody's shout outs. I do feel inside myself that we need to do, shall we say, we need to shut off what's happened at the weekend there, and in depth anyway. We should be able to talk about it on the surface without it affecting us too much. It's in the past. There are things that happened that we need to obviously get resolved somewhere along the line, and we need to come to, shall we say, have some peace with ourselves. So to all the Rangers fans all over the world, all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, heads up, keep it going for the Rangers because we need it. Keep it going.
Cheers, my mate. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be opening up tomorrow night. We'll have a quick talk about it unless something else breaks dramatically. But we will be looking at some of the fans' statements that have been made in the last 24 hours. We'll open up with the Union Bears and we'll see where that takes us. Thanks for joining us here at Rangers Radio. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for it was Stan, what was the boy's name? Stuart. Who joined us for Stuart for the True Blues. Great shout out, and we'll be pushing that down. We'll push all things positive for our club. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, folks.
I sailed the wild Atlantic across the broad Pacific shore. I sailed around the stormy capes and I've heard the 40s roar. I've leave, no more I'll ever